there are things that need to be said. Yeah. Hey guys, it is Lulu because why not here? And today, there are things that I need to say about this book. So let me be perfectly clear and honest here. I thought I would enjoy this book. I really did. I really did think I was going to enjoy this book because it started off really well. And then it just kind of fell off somewhere. I don't know where it did, probably around chapter 20 because that's where I stopped. But this book just was not it. Okay, for context, I read Gilded, which is the first book in this duology, and it is essentially a fairy tale retelling of the tale of Rumpelstiltskin. If you don't know the tale of Rumpelstiltskin, it's essentially where this miller's daughter makes a deal, like tells a lie that she can spin straw into gold, and makes a deal with like a magic little fairy man person who can actually spin the straw into gold, and promises him her firstborn child if he actually does it for her. And then it's like, and then I forget the ending of it, but this is essentially a retelling of that. But where, the miller's daughter and Rumpelstiltskin fall in love, But anyways, so one thing about this book is that I enjoyed Gilded. I really did. It wasn't a great book, but it was a good book. This book was not up to the level of Gilded, which was interesting because this book just felt like it was just like shouldn't exist, really. Having this entire arc be its own book was unnecessary. I feel like that could have just been like this, like having this as a physical manifesto, this that I paid money for, I feel like that was completely unwarranted. That's my first thing. Because essentially the first half of this book could have easily been amended into places somewhere in Gilded, and then the end of this book could have just been put onto Gilded after adding in the context needed for it. Like, that could have happened. We could have had that. Because honestly, it just felt like the author was putting things in there that just didn't add to the story at all. Like, for a good while, nothing happened. Like 20 chapters, which was almost 250 pages, I think. Nothing happened. Nothing. It's literally, the first half of this book is literally just Cerilda going back and forth on her feelings about the Earl King, Gild, and the children. And the fact that she's also having her own baby. And like being really like in herself and in her feelings about it. And Gild avoiding her tactfully because A, he's still in love with her, and B, she's married his worst enemy, and he thinks she's carrying his baby. His enemy's baby. When in reality, she's carrying his baby. But the thing is, she can't tell him, technically, because of like a promise the Earl King made to like murder the children again, even though the children are already dead. That is something that just didn't make much sense to me, because it was just a full half of this book that we spent on that topic. Literally, that's it. Like, I just don't understand. And also, I just literally could not force myself to press any further through this book because I knew there was going to be a bunch of filler. Like, I knew... Okay, so there are some points of action, not really action, because nothing really gets done. They don't really do a lot within the book. Let me be real. The main thing that helps spur into motion, kind of, what happens is like one of the ghosts of the castle telling them, hey, I know where your body is. And that's it. We could have literally time skipped a couple of months and been done. Like, that's it. Because seriously, the end of this book was great. The ending of this book. I didn't even finish the entire book. I got halfway through and decided, no, I can't. I could not force myself to read another page. So I just skipped to the ending of the book, and the ending was great. Top tier ending. But to get there, we have to go through a bunch of just filler. And I think it was meant to be world building, but it just wasn't done well enough, or in a way interesting enough for me to stay invested in the story, you know? So really, Gilded could have just been a standalone book like Heartless was. But nah. And something I have to fault this book for is the fact that there kind of really was no character development. Like, something that kind of bothered me a lot was, like, in Gilded, something that bothered me a lot was the character development, because it felt like Serilda and Gild had no character development. They escalated from, who the hell are you, to, oh, I'm having your baby, in, like, a series, in, like, not even, probably, like, 5 days. Seriously. Not even full days, not even a full 24 hours, like, maybe 12, in a series of, like, what? Because they spent, like, 5 nights together. So, like, 5 times 12 is what? Like 3 or 4 days of not even, like, 2.5 days. Literally 2.5 days. That is how fast their relationship just escalated in conjunction of all the time they spent together. And there was no character development. Literally both of them just kind of stayed as they were as characters, with their new budding feelings for each other and whatnot. And then in this book, she's kind of aware of the fact that she doesn't love Gild. She makes it a very good point. Like, the Earl King asks her, did you love him? He doesn't know, like, her paramour was Gild, by the way. He's just like, did you love the guy who's the father of your baby? And then she sits there and thinks about it for a while and goes, no, I don't think I do. But I could grow to love him, which is already, like, a shitty thing to say, when quite obviously Gild is pretty well in love with her, even though he doesn't exactly realize it, because he's, like, always there with her. He's always attempting to, like, try and make her feel better, even though he's literally dying inside, because she just can't spit it to him that she is carrying his child. It takes her literally three quarters of this book to tell him that the baby she's carrying is his. I was so mad about this point that I literally stopped and I had to go find it. I had to go find where she actually tells him that she's carrying his child, so that they can just stop this madness back and forth. Because it's just ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. There's no point as to why she shouldn't have just told him, honestly, even though she's like, oh, but the children and whatnot. No, honey, your most pressing concern right now is the child that hasn't been born yet. Because quite literally, the child she's carrying, the Earl King plans to gift it to his love Perchta or whatnot. She's a bitch, by the way. Kind of an iconic bitch, but, like, she's not as iconic as the Earl King, and that's probably because we don't even get, like, a full, like, 4 chapters with her. She's, like, there, she's bitchy, and then she leaves. That's it. That's it. That's literally it. I didn't like Perchta. She wasn't that great of a character, even though she was only there for, like, maybe 4 chapters, so I couldn't really fault that. But, like, she just appeared, she was a bitch for a while, and then she left because she got defeated, you know? That was that. But yeah, but back to the point. He plans to give her child to, like, Perchta, even though she technically already promised, made, like, a magical contract with Gild to give her firstborn to him, which actually plays out kind of interesting in the end in here, but I'm not going to spoil this entire book for you, because I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. Like, the writing was still great. I am not going to fault the writing, because Marissa Meyer is a great writer, but I feel like there was a better way to execute this sequel. I just feel like it didn't need to happen, honestly. I didn't think this needed a full book to tell what it needed to tell. Like, this book could have just been condensed into like maybe, what, 200 extra pages onto Gilded? Really, it could have just done that. 200, maybe 300 pages. Because there is just so much filler. So much filler. So much filler. I could not, honestly. Honestly, this book was driving me nuts. Like, I tried to finish it. I really did. But then I got to, like, chapter 20. And I was like, yeah, no. This ain't happening. I honestly felt really bad that I wasn't able to finish it because I was so happy with Gilded. Like, Gilded wasn't a great book, but it was a good book. And I felt like this would have given a lot more, would have, like, added a lot more to the story and whatnot. It didn't. It just fell really flat for me. And I was very disappointed with that. I feel like I should have liked this book, but I just didn't, honestly. But yeah. This is just, like, this was a disappointing read. I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads when I finished it. But now I'm currently reading Six of Crows, which, honestly, I'm on chapter 8, I think? Yeah, I'm on chapter 8 of that book. And quite literally, okay, so something I noticed about Leigh Bardugo's writing is that it's very easy to just get sucked into the story. Like, her chapters are long. The way she describes things, top tier. Her chapters are very long, but it's very easy to just fly through them in a matter of, like, maybe 30 minutes, but it doesn't even feel like that long. Like, she sucks you in with her writing, which is very interesting to me. Like, I finished, like, a full, like, 100 pages, like, in, like, what, maybe 2 hours of that book, and I didn't get distracted once. So I'm of the very firm belief that I could probably finish that book in like a week or so, depending on my schedule. But we shall see. Anyways, those were my thoughts on Cursed. I just think that the sequel book, the physical sequel book that I spent money on, that I spent literally $20 on, just didn't need to happen. It could have just been condensed again into like 250, maybe 300 pages extra onto Gilded. It really could have. It just felt like too much, to be honest. I feel bad for being disappointed in this book. I really do, because I do love Marissa Meyer as a writer. This book just didn't sit right with me. Anyways, guys, that is the end of this video. It's literally just like a small little rant video, because I just needed to get that out somewhere. I tried fitting it into like a reading vlog somewhere that I tried to film like 4 different times, but it just was not it. It just wasn't working. So I just made its own little video, you know? So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm going to try and post more often. I have several ideas for book videos that I'm probably going to like film incrementally or something. And if you also want to see more of my content, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I post a new video. Depending on my schedule, I will probably be posting every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks or so. So anyways, guys, that was the rest of this video. I love you, Meta Lumas. Bye!